Okay, welcome to Old Trafford. The manager's here to take your questions on the game. Can we have all questions in Swiss, German or English, please? If you'd like to put your hand up. Samuel, microphone.
Jose, is Victor Lindelof out injured for the game, or is there a chance he'll come in?
No, he will be out for quite a while.
Is Bailly going to come in? Will he replace him or Phil Jones?
Sorry?
Will it be? You said on Friday, don't be surprised if Bailly starts. Is he going to come in for Lindelof?
Yeah, we have Bailly and Jones. Marcos Rojo has some little injury, and Victor an injury, a proper injury that will keep him out for a while. So Jones, Smalling and Bailly are the three we have at the time.
Jose, I know it's a very big game of football, but the last two Champions League games there's been travel problems. Have you got a plan tomorrow that will get you all safely from wherever you are to the stadium? Or are you going to walk?
No, we decide to change hotel, so we are not coming from Manchester City Centre. We are going to stay in a hotel just a few meters away, and the information I have from the club and the club contacts with the police is that things are going to be much better than the last time. But if it isn't better, I walk.
Jose, I just wanted to, Victor, it sounds pretty bad. Obviously, he was struggling towards the end of that game. Do you have any idea on the time scale?
Victor?
Yeah.
No, he does the scan tomorrow, but by the experience of the medical department and the feelings of the players, he has a muscular problem, and a muscular problem takes time. I would say if we have him for the Christmas period where we need, if possible, every player to be available for that difficult period until the Newcastle match on the 2nd of January, if you can have Victor available for that period, would be good.
Is it a thigh injury? Is it which part of the?
No, it's, wait a little bit for the muscle, for the scan.
Hi, Jose. Hi. After you questioned the heart and desire of the players on Saturday, what's been the response from them? And also from your point of view, was that so disappointing given the comeback wins lately? It looked like that desire was there up until that game.
You know, when you see amazing things the players did that demand that spirit, that demand that ambition, that demand that pride, obviously you believe they have it. But then sometimes you have matches where the profile is a little bit different, and then you become obviously frustrated. And for me was a pleasure, even against Manchester City, where we didn't recover from the 2-0, but even in that match where you score the first goal and you fight for the second and you leave the stadium in a situation where everybody feels that anything can happen, okay, then you lose, but you go with that spirit until the end, and then you compare against Crystal Palace is frustrated. I think football is not 90 minutes, is always less than 90, because the teams that want to reduce the time, they know how to do it, and in the majority of the times, the referees, they don't give enough time to compensate that. The team that wants to win must be the team with that intensity that doesn't help the opponent to calm down the game. And against Crystal Palace, Hennessy was good on that. The players, they were good on that. And we had good periods of football, and then we had periods of low intensity, low effort, and we let them stay with some stability in the game. So in the end, when the fourth official shows the 4 minutes, I was frustrated, because when we are winning is 6-7, but I was also blaming ourselves, like we don't deserve more. We don't deserve more than that time, because we lost some time. So it's frustrating, because what I want is the team to start strong, is the team to go strong on the opponent, not to be waiting, not to be reactive, but to be proactive. That's exactly what I want, and probably you or the fans, they think, Jose told them to start slow, Jose told them to play nice and easy and wait to see what happened, or to be losing for them to react. Is exactly the opposite thing. I want the team to start strong. I want the team to have a go immediately, and is a bit frustrated.
Hi, Jose. Sorry, over in the corner here. You've been in charge now for coming up 2.5 years. Why do you feel, in your opinion, the team lacks the consistency of performance and consistency of results that you'd expect after that time period?
I don't want to answer to it. When I sometimes try to answer and to explain things, then I'm criticized because I explain it. So I prefer not to do it.
Jose, on Saturday and on previous occasions, like Juventus away, you actually looked more threatening, perhaps, when you went long, went more direct as a team. I think you referred to that in your post-match interview a couple of times. Is that an option to start to use that as a plan A rather than a plan B, or is it impossible to do that when you're Manchester United?
No, impossible is not impossible. It's not impossible, but there are teams that are capable to cope with that better than others. And when you give the opponent a game where they are comfortable with, is not also a good option. So to do that, I think we have to analyze well the potential of the opponents, their difficulties to cope with, and try to make a decision in relation to that. But normally we are not also very good on second balls. Our midfield is not normally very aggressive on that fight for the second balls. And when you go long from the beginning of the game, then you split the game and you open the game to many second balls where you need that aggression and you need that intensity in midfield that, to be honest, we don't have also. So to be long for a long period of time, I think in the end our team will be a little bit broken. Like you could see, for example, in the last part of the game against Crystal Palace, a team that was never dangerous against us, and in the last part of the game they found some space to counter-attack exactly because we split the team.
But is it a concern that plan A, which is to play the way you would like to play, it rarely seems to work?
I would prefer to speak about tomorrow and not about the past. And again, I repeat, when I am open to you and when I try to analyze things with you and when I try to be honest with you, there are always the illuminated that criticize me because of that. So I think it's better not to speak too much.
Okay, last two questions. One there and one here.
Hi, Jose. Some of the best results this season seem to have been away from home, including in Switzerland in the reverse of this fixture. Do you feel like the players are maybe finding it easier to play away from home than at Old Trafford at the moment?
I refuse to say that. I think it would be a lack of respect to the stadium and to the fans to say that we prefer to play away of home than to play at home. I totally refuse to say that. If you ask me, do I prefer to play tomorrow against young boys here, or if we could change the game and go again to Bern, I would say immediately I prefer to play at home. Always. I prefer always to play at home.
They're not feeling extra pressure maybe to play here in front of their own fans at the moment, just with things not perhaps going the way that they want?
If you feel pressure, stay at home. But when I say home, I don't say stadium home. I say home, and watch on TV. If you feel pressure to play matches at home where the people come to support, come on. I never felt pressure to play at home.
Okay, last question.
Jose, you said that on Saturday the players looked as though they felt it was a normal game.
Yeah, it's always about Saturday.
Yeah.
No.
I know that you can ask Samuel the team for tomorrow, and they give you the team for tomorrow.
How would you describe tomorrow's game in terms of importance?
How do I describe?
Yeah.
I describe like it's not a crucial match, because if we don't win tomorrow, we still don't depend on other results. We just depend on ourselves. So it's not a crucial game, but I want to play from minute one like it is the last chance we have to qualify. So I want to forget that we still have a chance, that we still have one more match to play, and I want to play this game as is a knockout game. We have to win. That's the way I want to play tomorrow. And the team I'm going to play is a team where I'm going to try to have that happiness to cope with that little pressure that I'm going to try to add, that little pressure to the players. That is not a real pressure, because the reality is that we still have one more match to play. But I want to put a team where I think they can cope well with that happiness of playing a decisive game. Let's forget the game against Valencia. Let's forget that we still depend on Juventus Valencia to know if we can qualify tomorrow or not. Let's play this game like a game we have to win.
Okay, thank you.
No questions in general.